hear me? I was trying to talk on my earbuds, but I don't think they're working. You can hear me because I'm by the phone, but I was seeing if my earbuds were working. I don't think that they are. And I forgot to charge my speakers, so I'm gonna have to bring you guys around with me if these aren't working. But can you hear? They're not working. I don't know why they don't connect. So I took them out. Can you guys still hear me, or is it too far away? All right, well, I'll just talk by the phone then. It's hot in here. I'm gonna be working on I have a lot of blankets to work on today, and then some embroidery too, so hopefully it doesn't get too loud because my earbuds aren't connecting, so hopefully it's not too loud with the phone on. But I have just a bunch of random stuff to do, like always. Happy Thursday, it's almost the weekend. Thank you guys for joining me today, and I just wanted to come on because I haven't had any interaction really with you guys. I haven't done any videos. I have a video for you guys, but I still haven't finished editing it yet, so still trying to work on that. Work's been really, really busy. Kids are back in school, so that's been kind of hectic. It should be like more calm, but it's still just it's the first week and a half of school, so still trying to get into the groove of everything. 2 of my kids started last week and 2 of them started this week, so just still trying to get a schedule down. But once that gets settled in, then I should hopefully be back on track with doing videos and lives and whatnot with you guys. But I'm happy to be here with you today. So we have, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 Lovys, 3 blankets, a couple rompers and leggings, and some embroidery shirts to do today. So I'm just going to be kind of like hopping back and forth, around and around. So I have a few moderators on here that have been with me for a while that know how to answer your guys' questions. If you guys have any questions and I'm not by the computer or my phone, just please ask, and they should be able to help you out as best as possible. When I go back to the computer, you'll see me walking over there quite frequently. It's over there. And I will try to answer your guys' questions at that time. But for now, I'm just going to set you guys up and just start working, because this morning I spent a little one-on-one time with my niece. She's 3 years old. She's not in preschool yet, so I was able to spend some alone time with her. I took her to the aquarium and just kind of hung out with her, had lunch, and now she's napping. So I came out here and decided I would try to do a live with you guys and get some orders done before she either wakes up or I have to be done. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me whatever you think or whatever you want to ask a question about. So I'm just going to be working around, moving the phone. I always move you guys with me, so wherever I need to put you, I will let you know that I'm moving you. So before I get started, whoa, don't kill myself over this cord. You're welcome. Thank you for whatever question you asked and whatever I explained to you. I appreciate you guys all so much. Okay. So first off, I think I'm going to start a shirt on the machine. That way I can start cutting. So I did all of these. I'll put you guys around the other way so you can see what I worked on. So yesterday I got all of these blankets and Lovys embroidered with all the names on them. So now today I need to cut the backings out and pin them and sew them so that I can get all of them out. I brought this right here goes to the 2 blankets, so I'm going to cut that first after I get my machine going. So I'm going to have, I think I'm going to try my hardest to have both machines up and running and cut out blankets at the same time. Every time I try to do that, it kind of gets chaotic because I'm going back and forth, and then I have to do this and that, and then especially with applique, it's like takes forever. So if it's not too hot in here, then I'm going to try to do that, but just bear with me. It's really, really hot here in Arizona. It's actually just like really muggy. It's been raining like crazy, so it's super, super muggy here, and I work in my garage, so I'm sure you guys all know that. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys back over here, and I'm going to start pulling some shirts. I did about 5 shirts yesterday, so I got a good start on those, and I have about 6 more to do today to get out. So I'm just going to start with this one. I think I'm going to put it on the other machine because I already have those colors set up over there. So let's see what else. I have 2 of the same ones to do, so I'll just do those first. T white and 6 white. So I try not to mix them up because they're the same design, different size, different age. So I always make sure that I keep the ticket right with the shirt, so I never get that mixed up. So 2 T white. I use from ALLSTITCH, it's their classic cutaway. I really, really like this stabilizer. I feel like it works with every shirt I've done, every design I've done. You can't really see the big, huge design behind it after you cut it out, so I really like it. It's very flexible too. It's almost like a woven sort of stabilizer. I've never had any issues with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my mighty hoops. So I have mighty hoops for both of my machines, but they do take different brackets, so you can't mix them up. You have to use your certain mighty hoops with your specific machines. Also, if you guys don't have this, I highly recommend it. It's the backing holder. Makes your life so much easier when you are hooping a shirt. So, I'm hot. So if I get all like disgusting on here, I'm sorry. It's just really hot in here. Also, I don't really go live as much because I get really gross in here when I'm working. Also, another thing that I do save my bags. So every time I do an order, when I take it out, I put the slip inside the bag so that I can keep track of what bag goes to what shirt. You don't want to mix them up. So. Just cutting off some loose strings that are on this shirt. Because I have so many cute new designs that I'm working on, but I haven't fully executed them yet, so I'm not going to show you guys until it's all done. Put you down here so you can see what I'm doing. I do always pull my collar down right here. I like it to be right on the very edge right there, and that's how I know exactly where my design is going to be every single time I do it. Looks like there's like, I always do check my shirts too, because I don't want to send, this looks like it has like almost like a little hole in it. So I'm not going to use this shirt, which is unfortunate, but I will use it for a sample shirt. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I don't know if you can see that, but right there, there's like a little hole. It's not an actual hole, but you can tell after I wash it or something, it's going to turn into a hole. So I'm not going to sell that because I don't want to sell it like that. So I'll use that for a sample shirt. So we're going to put that aside and pull out a new one. Okay, that one looks better. And then, I mean, I've done them enough times to know, I just kind of like eyeball it down the center. I have it marked on my backing holder with a red Sharpie. I need to redo that because it's coming off. But down the center line, and then I have a mark up here on the center line up on top. And that's just kind of how I know that it's centered. I don't pull it too tight. I noticed that before when I would pull it tighter, it would, I don't know, it just didn't stitch out as good. So I don't really pull it that tight, just enough to where I know it's going to stitch out okay. So you always remember to take this out. I have forgotten before and nothing happened, but you're not supposed to stitch with it on. And then one time I did forget to take it off, and then I took it off and it messed up the design. So take it off. Okay, so now I'm gonna, I gotta clean my machine because I haven't been out here today yet. Monthly, so I don't need to oil all the needles because I've already done that. So it's ready to go after I clean it out and oil it. Welcome, Cassidy. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you can hear me over here. I'm at the computer. Awesome, Elizabeth. That's so cool. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Sorry, I'm at the computer over there, so I was yelling. Okay. Which one is it? So every day that I get orders, or every morning when I come out here, but I wasn't out here today, so I did this all yesterday. I grab all of my orders that I keep on my little clipboard, whether it's shirts, screen prints, loveys, or blankets, and I take them over to the computer. I do all my designs at one time. That way they're done. I don't have to worry about it. I have my USB drive and I just go back and forth between the machines and it's already ready. I don't have to stop and go and stop and go. So I do them all at one time. So this one is Benjamin and he's 2 years old. So I'm just gonna find him in here. So I don't know if you guys have one of these machines or not, but I'm just going to give you guys a quick, I guess, tip. These machines are not pre-set for Mighty Hoops, so you kind of have to figure it out on your own. And when I got this machine, I had to figure out all the settings and everything, so I figured it out, and literally it's the same for this machine as it is for my SWF 12 needle. I figured that out probably 2 weeks ago, and it's a game changer to know the exact measurements so you don't have to mess with it every single time. I literally trace it, it's good to go. As long as I put these measurements in every single time, it will be perfectly around the hoop. I like my designs when I'm doing it on Embrilliance. You have your hoop set in the software, and when I center it and fit to the hoop, it literally goes around the whole hoop without touching the rim, and it's just set like that every time. I don't ever have to change it. So in this machine, you can see, let me show you up close. I'm going to turn you guys around so I can do it this way. So in this machine, so I have it set to, here, I'm going to close this because I want to reset it. I'm going to show you guys, okay. So you go to your design set right here, not that one, design set, and you can see all of your features right here. It's at 100% both on my X and Y's, and I'm choosing hoop D. So when I use my Mighty hoops, whether it's for this machine or my 12 needle machine, it's the same. I choose, I'm sorry, it's not the same hoop, but it's the same measurements that I'm about to put in. I'll show you on the other machine, if whoever has purchased that other machine over there and is having a struggle using Mighty hoops, I will show you the trick. It works for me every single time. So back to this machine. I choose my hoop, D, that's what I use for my Mighty hoops. And then you see the X and Y's right here. See the red border? That means my design is too big. And that is how I've done it in Embrilliance. I do it the same time every time in Embrilliance, but then when I come to put it into my machine, I change these settings. So I go over here to 100 and I X out of that and I make it 88%. I don't know why it's 88%, but it works every time, and that's how I do it. So I'm just gonna do, whoops, 88% on both my X and my Y. I'm gonna hit OK and watch the red line disappear. And now it's literally fitting inside that perfect square up to the very brim around the whole entire thing. And that's how I like my design. If you don't like your design that big, you can always readjust it, but this is the measurements that I use every time, and I love the way it turns out. So at the end of it stitching out, I'll show you exactly what it looks like and how big it is compared to the actual shirt. We're doing a size 2T right now, so then you'll be able to compare on a size 2T what the design is going to look like. So now I'm going to trace it because I want to show you guys that it fits. I got to go into embroidery mode, sorry about that. So I'm going to trace it down here, and this machine doesn't have a laser point. Whoops, I'm sorry, tripping over my cord. But what I do is I just watch every single time it takes the needle 1 all the way to the center right here where the needle plate is. And then, so it'll bring it here, and then it'll go around the entire thing. So I just keep my eyes on needle 1 and watch it go around the brim the whole time. I don't know why I call it the brim, the frame. And it's not going to touch. It's going to be basically where the shadow is around the whole entire thing. So I'm going to hit the trace button. So now it's taking needle 1 and it's going around the whole thing. You want to trace it every single time, especially when using Mighty hoops. So I know that it's fine. I don't know why I trace it every time, because you're supposed to. I've done it a gazillion times and it's never hit the hoop because of those settings that I use. So I don't have to, but I do it anyway because I'm OCD about it, and I never want to make that mistake. So when I put the other machine on and set those settings, I will show you on that machine as well that it's the same exact thing. They're in different spots on the machine because every machine's different, but that's how I do it. Okay, so let me grab his paper. So if you guys haven't been on here, I know there's a couple new people on here. I keep this folder right here, or this bin basically. Every time I make a new file in Embrilliance, I print it out. So all of these right here are printed out like designs. I have these so that I can do girl and boy, but I'm too lazy and I don't ever file them like I should. So basically I just throw them in here like this. So now I'm gonna go find my 2 Benjamin. It's not gonna be that exact one because I've already done this a ton of times. So I'm just gonna find the paper that I printed out the very first time. So I'm looking for a number 2 Spider-Man shirt. And the reason why I print out each number differently is because sometimes the numbers stitch out differently if you use different fonts. So this is the first one that I use, and I basically just print it out, and then these are my steps that I use. So I'm grabbing this paper, I'm going to use it for my steps. And there's probably other easier ways to do this. This is just what works for me and the way that I've memorized how to do it. So find what works best for you and stick with it. So now I'm just going to input all my settings, or my colors. I think we're ready to go. We're all set. Our colors are in. We've traced it. We put the design in. We are all set. So I'm just going to go. Okay, now we're going to set the other machine while this one is stitching out the name. So I'm done with this one. Go ahead and put you guys back over here while I hoop this one. Yes, I'm actually liking my SWF a lot more because I'm using it a lot more and it's super smooth. Stitching, I've got all the tensions correct, so it's just really smooth and nice. I hope that it's not going to be too loud with both of them going at the same time, but you guys are all here, you all embroider. I think you all embroider, so you know that it gets loud. But when I talk, I'll talk closer to the phone so you guys can hear me. I always have a harder time hooping, or at least getting centered, my larger shirts because I feel like they're so big. I am very, there we go, OCD about it. I try not to pull up here as much as I can. I try to just pull from the bottom. This is as little as possible. Remember to take this out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys again over here. Not probably enough to do the entire thing, but we'll see. And for this machine, they have an oil hole on the very back here. You don't have to do it every time. I do it probably every 2 or 3 times, just to keep it nice and oiled. But down here, I do oil it every time. And I did just oil the back and all the needles, so I don't need to do that today. But make sure you take care of your machine. I'm sure y'all know. That was the last one that I did. I need to go get my USB. Short, so I have to like jump up over that. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to probably hold this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So, I'm going to set you right here for a sec. Grab this paper. This one is number 6. And, let's see here, if I can go like this. Maybe like zoom you in a little. Whoop, not that much. How's that? Can you guys see it better? So, basically, you're going to go into your design, into my USB. Where I save it always is under ORDF. I don't know why. I don't know if that's like a special thing to do, or that's just what I've always done. So, I do that. So now I'm just waiting for it to load, and I already know that this is the one that I need. This is my design right here. Even though it's printed like this, it's not going to be sideways like that. So you're just going to hit the add button and save it. And then I'm going to go back to design, and it's right here. These are all the ones that I've done on here. So there, I'm going to hit that design that I need, and I'm going to hit the check mark. Now I'm going to hit load. And that means it's just going to load it into my computer. Okay, so now what I need to do, the settings for my Mighty Hoops is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So you're going to go into your frame. And now I already have it set because I used my Mighty Hoops on my last design, but I'm going to show you guys what to do. So I figured this out by messing with it, playing with all the hoops, everything. So the trick is, because it's not installed in your computer for Mighty Hoops already, you have to use the biggest hoop that your machine comes with. That way you can size it to however you want in there. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't know if this is the correct way to do it. This is just what worked for me and what has been working every time I've used it. So that is how I figured out how to do it. So I'm going to go into my hoop size, and because I was using the 24 by 24, which is an 8 by 8 hoop. And so in my head, I thought, okay, that will work for the Mighty Hoop. But my designs were coming out too small because using an 8 by 8 hoop, I had to shrink it down lower. And I didn't like how small the design was. So then I decided to try the 30 by 15. That didn't work either. So now I know that I need to use my biggest hoop. So it's now going to calibrate for my biggest hoop on my machine. And then I can close, actually I'm going to go back to my frame. I'm sorry, I'm going to close that. And so now what I want to do is, this is the green line right here means that is my 30 by 30 frame. I don't really know how big that is. Somebody help me out. So if a 24 by 24 is an 8 by 8, I'm assuming it's probably a 9 or 10 by 10. I'm not sure. I'm really bad at math. So anyway, this is how big my design is that I saved in Embroiderings. So I know that my design is going to fit in my 30 by 30 hoop that comes with my machine. But I'm using my Mighty Hoops, which is only an 8 by 9 hoop. So now, again, I'm not good at math, but I just tried it and it worked, and it works every time. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to close that. You want to go to your settings, and again, your X and Y scales are at 100% because that's what I save it in Embroiderings as. So you're going to click on your X and your Y scales, and you're going to change them to 88%. Again, I don't know how or why this works, but it does, trust me. So now I'm just going to close it, and it automatically saves whatever changes you made. So that's what it's doing right now. So now you can go back into your frame and see that it's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to show you now as I trace it. You can see on here that this machine has a laser point, so you're going to be able to see it. So basically you're going to go excuse me, to trace, and then you hit the play button right here. It's going to ask you if you're ready to trace it, and I am ready, so I'm going to put you down here so you can see it. And it's literally going to be the same exact as the other machine. Sorry, it's really hard with this phone, but see, that's how it is on all sides. Now it's back to center. So again, 88%, write it down if you have Mighty Hoops for these machines. Your X and Y scales need to be at 88%, and it will work every time. And again, I'll show you the design stitch out at the end, and you can look, see for yourself like how big it is compared to the shirt, and if you like it or not. You can always go smaller. I just don't recommend going bigger using the Mighty Hoops, because I've tried even at 90% and it's like right on the edge of the hoop and you might hit it. So I don't recommend that. So now I gotta set all my colors. So I'll put you guys back. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit again. Sorry guys, I'm trying. Ah! Why isn't it working? There we go. Okay. Let's see. Aw, thank you guys so much for your donations. I will buy myself a coffee. What brand of rivet press do you have? So I bought this. Okay, I need a new one. I've had this one forever. So this piece right here, I now have to hold up to push it down. This just happened last week. So I have had this press for about 5 years now, and it's worked great up until last week. So highly recommend getting one of these if you're using cam snaps or rivets, whatever you're using. I got this on Etsy at I Love Big Buttons. That's her Etsy shop name. I Love Big Buttons. It's linked, I believe, in my description. If not, just search her on Etsy and you'll find her. She has a teal one and a pink one. So love it, love it, love it. And yeah. Okay, so now that I know that, going back to this is all set, we traced it, we're all good. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our needles. This is where you set all of your colors that you're using. I've already preset, I do this design so often that I preset the 5 colors that I mainly use on this design. So I'm just gonna go through and put them in. So blue, it's going to be gray, gray, blue. And then it's going to be gray. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gray. I use gray for my tack down and placement stitches. I don't know why, I just do. I feel like I can see it and it hides fine, so that's what I do. Black, white, blue, red, blue, red, black. Okay. Now I'm going to go all the way back up and put my stops in. So on this machine, you have to put your stops in separately. On my machine back there, you don't hear it going anymore because it stops automatically. If you have it on an auto manual setting, I believe that's what it means. It's A/M. I don't know exactly the terminology for it. I made my own up, but it stops after each step up until you finish your applique, and then you can put it on automatic and it'll stitch out the whole rest of the design by itself, which is really nice because then I can just do whatever I need to. This machine, you have to put your stops in. I believe Brothers are like that. I'm not really sure, I don't have one, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my stops in. So on number 2, I'm gonna hit stop, stop. I'm basically gonna hit stop all the way up until 1, 2, 9, 10, 12, okay. And I don't think you have to put all these stops in, but I don't really know this machine that well yet to determine when I should and shouldn't put stops in. So I'm just being safe, playing it safe, and putting them up until I need to just do my satin stitches. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to hit close. Now we're all set. This means it's going to be going 800 stitches per minute, which is what I like. It could go faster, but I feel like anything over 800, it kind of gets it sloppy. So I just like it to, you know, do it nice and neat. So now I'm just going to hit start. And then I'll show you guys where it goes. So it's not going to hit, it's kind of hard to see that angle, but you can see it's fine. And I'll show you more as it keeps going, but this machine is super smooth. I feel like the stitch out's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys back over here now so that I can start doing some other work. Do you cut fabric patterns on the Cricut Maker? I got the one with fabric mat, but I don't know how to do a fabric cut also. Okay, Susie, let me get back to you 1 second. Okay, let me think on the Cricut mat. So I do cut with my Cricut. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? I'll talk close to the phone. So with the Cricut machine, there are Cricut like fabric mats that you can use. I mean, if you all know me, I kind of do my own thing. I figure out what works and I just stick with it. So I use the regular standard mats. It's the standard grip. You can see it says standard grip right there. And this one, you can see it's all fuzzy. This is what I use for my nursing pads. I use the fleece, so it's very fuzzy. So I dedicate this mat only for my fleece. So I don't mess up all my other mats. I use one mat for everything, just like my machines. I have a blanket machine. I use my FAF embroidery machine back behind me for my Lovys and blankets to embroider on. I also use it for shirts, but I have specific machines that I use for specific stuff. Also with all of my other machines, like my Cricut Maker, my Brother Scan and Cut, my Explorer 2, like all of those machines I use for specific needs. So you don't have to do that, that's just how I work. But again, back to these mats, I use this one for my fleece only, and I label them. This one is nice and clean, and it's really sticky. I use this for my liner. So my waterproof pull liner is what I use on here. That one is very hard to cut, so it has to be super sticky. When I run out of stick on this mat, back to my fleece mat, I haven't yet, I won't say never, but I haven't yet bought a new one, because all I do is use my spray adhesive, and I spray it on here, just one light layer, and I put my fleece on here and it sticks again. So you don't have to keep investing in new mats. You can use a spray adhesive, or you can use a baby wipe, and just wipe it down. So like with this one for my liners, when I feel like it's not cutting anymore, I'll either place them where there is stick, like other places, or what I'll do is just take a baby wipe that's non-alcohol, like hypoallergenic, something like that. So I use the Kirkland ones, and you can just wipe it down. I don't do the whole soap in the sink sort of thing. I literally just use a baby wipe, and it works wonders. So having different mats for different things, I think, is the way to go. That way you know what mat is used for what fabric, and it doesn't mess the other ones up. So invest in separate mats for different things, but then just use those and use them until they're basically gone. I haven't ever changed these, and I've had them for probably 5 years, so that goes to say something. But also, you do have to use a fabric cutting cutting blade. It is the rotary blade that comes with the, I don't know if it comes with the machine or not. But it looks like this. It has the like rotary blade on it. So I recommend getting one of these if you don't have one. And that is for the fabric. If you have a scan and cut, you don't have to get a special blade for it, because they have a blade that is like an auto blade, which will cut fabric. I do have to say, however, I like the way my rotary blade cuts on my maker with certain materials better than I do with the scan and cut. The scan and cut, I love both of them. They both have pros and cons. The only thing is that the auto blade is just a regular blade, so it just cuts like, I mean, it'll cut circles and stuff, but it doesn't have the blade that is nice and smooth around the edges, so you kind of see a little fray, is what I've noticed. When my Cricut Maker cuts the fabric, it's very smooth around each edge, and so that's what I like. But I'm very particular about those kinds of things, so I notice stuff like that. But again, they both have different things that they're good at. So this is the spray that I use. It's just literally called spray adhesive. It's a little pricey, but I love it. It's not super sticky. It's odorless. It's acid free. I use it for a lot of stuff. And I love this, love this, love this. I think it's like $20 a can though, so I use it sparingly. And you can get it in bulk. let's go see how this name stitched out. I don't really know how to say that name. Axel, maybe? It's super, the stitch out is super pretty. I love how it just looks so nice. Like, this machine's very smooth. I love it. Okay, so it did stop after that, and I didn't need it to. I'm just gonna hit start, and it's gonna now do the applique part. So these buttons right here are just like a remote. You can stop and start whenever you need to. These are moving the hoop around, which I don't really ever do because I know my settings and I don't need to do that. But you can use this right here as well. It's the same thing. There's a lot of things on the panel that are on the panel, if that makes sense. Let's go look at the other one now. I'm getting all tied up over here. And then there's that one, which this machine is amazing. I love it so much. It's such a clear, easy, user-friendly machine. And so is the other one. I just know this one better because I've had it longer, obviously. But okay, going back and forth. So I have a bucket that has like all my scraps in, so I'm just going to pull from these. This is what I use for my thing that I'm using, or my design that I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to grab out some scraps. I think I need maybe some more red. So we'll do some heat and bond action in a minute. Okay, so I think I need some more red. I've been doing a lot of these, so let me have that. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to tell you guys, on this machine over here, my SWF, in the beginning I couldn't figure out like what was happening, and so whenever my thread would break, so this broke off just now, you need to make sure that you put it back in the third hole. So I wasn't used to having 3 holes to put it in, and I would just literally put it back down into this hole down here and through the needle, and it kept breaking. I'm like, what is happening? And then I realized, oh my goodness, I have to put it through that hole too, and then it ran perfect. So don't make that mistake. They each have 3 holes to go through. So you literally just slide it down there. This is where it comes because I can't see. I'm blind, basically. So one thing that I do have to say about this machine is the little hook back here is so hooked that it's really hard to get that thread behind there, at least for me it is. On the faff behind me, it is almost like a triangle hook, so it's easy to wrap that thread around. This one's a little bit harder for me. I mean, and when I say it's harder, it's just it's not as fast. It's not hard at all. It's just not as easy as the other one. And this thing is not working. So out of everything, I think threading is the hardest for me. That might seem weird, but I just don't have very good eyes. So it's really hard for me to thread. Okay. I'm gonna go back a couple. So when you wanna go back, you have to hit float and then make sure you hit the minus button. And I'm just gonna go back 10. And you just hit start again. And hope that it works that time. Of how that happens because it's just like memorized. Let me look real fast. I believe you choose it when you're using it, but let me check really quick. So the Maker doesn't have a dial on it like the Explorer Air does, or the Explorer 2. So that's a dial. So in my settings, I'll show you real quick what I mean. There's that. So I'm going to go into my Cricut design space, pulling it up, and I'm going to go to one of my designs really quick so I can show you. So basically, I'm gonna hold on 1 second. Go back. Okay, so these are like my nursing pads, right? So I just have them in circles, and it doesn't really know the material that it is. So you choose that material in your settings. So I'm going to hit continue. I think it has to be on. It's not turned on. But I'm just going to pretend like it's on. So if I hit continue and then you hit your Maker right here where it comes up, it's going to ask you what you're cutting. And you put in the material that you're cutting. So when I put in my fleece, I just hit fleece and it automatically knows obviously what fleece is. So and then it'll calibrate, and if you don't have the right blade in there, so say I have the cutting blade and not the fabric blade, it won't go. It'll just pause, and then on your machine it'll say what blade you need to put in. So you just basically go step by step by step. It'll tell you and prompt you what to do. Then when you put your rotary blade in, it'll then recalibrate and know that you have the right blade in, and then it'll continue to go. But if you're doing vinyl, then you just choose everyday iron-on or vinyl, just regular vinyl, so it knows what you're using, what material you're using. Okay. You guys, I have to step away for 2 seconds. My babysitter went to go pick up my kids and my niece just woke up. So I'm gonna go grab her really fast and bring her out here to be with me until they get home. So give me 2 seconds. Sorry guys, this is why I don't do lives, but I hope you guys understand. So give me 1 second. Say hi. Say hi, everyone. Hi. Okay. Bring it right back. And you can watch. Set her up on here. You want it? This one? Come on, 1 second. Okay, where was I at then? Sorry about that. Okay, where was I? Sorry guys, sorry. This is just for my appliques, so I'm just gonna do a couple because I have a lot of these shirts all the time, so it's nice to just pre-cut them out so you don't have to keep doing them every time. I almost used a whole roll of this. So I get my rolls of this on Amazon. They're linked in my description if you guys need some. It's way cheaper to do it this way than to buy it separately, so I recommend doing that. keep all my scraps in this little bin over here so that I can use them. Do you guys have any other questions while I'm doing this? My hair's flying on my face because of the fan. So my sister has been, well, she was helping me this week and last week she didn't, but I was trying to teach her how to cut these and she was getting so frustrated because you know how hard it is when you first start to cut these. And once you get used to it, it's super easy, but at first it's, you know, it's hard. And she's a left-hander, so it was super hard for her and she's like, I don't want to do that, I give up, you do it. So she did learn how to cut like my clothing fabric. So all this over here in the corner, she's cut, well, not the blankets, but all the other stuff she cut for me. Like she went through my website and basically I asked her to write down any of the prints that are missing items. So like just say my spare print, say it's missing a pair or a romper or whatever. So she just went through and did that and then she cut them all out for me. So that when I have time, I can just go and make those outfits. Because eventually I want to have every single print in every single item that I offer. So that is what my plan is. focus as soon as these applique pieces are done. So this person chose blue for the name, the other person chose red for the name. I think they both look really cute. So. Sorry, it's so loud. Because I cut a circle because I made a circle blanket. It's going to fit just barely, I think. You can see a big circle out of here. Either way, I'm not going to have enough room. It's going to be edge to edge, which I don't like, but I'll just have to be very careful when I sew it. let's see if this one works. I don't know either. Same. Alright, well, this particular print doesn't really matter, so I always like to go the way that this is going because I just feel like it looks better. But this print is non-directional, so it's every which way, so I feel like if I went the opposite way, they wouldn't really pay attention to it. And quite frankly, I think I'm the only one who pays attention to it. I don't know how you guys are, but I just like it all going the same way. But I don't want to take any of the blanket off, and I don't have room to go the other way. So I'm going to have to improvise. And this is what I do when I improvise. I just kind of mess with it each different way, figure out what looks best, and then go from there. So which end can I fit it on the best? So this right here needs to just be cut off, which I will just take a razor and cut that piece off. I can use that for my Lovies. I can use this for Lovies, so I'm just going to cut it. So this can be used for a Lovy. I probably will have enough room right here for this one. I just don't know about the other one. I have 2 of these to do. Yeah, so I have enough. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see it. Perfect. So it fits just right if I cut this off right here. So if you see what I mean, how the direction's going up on the blanket, I always try to make it go up like that on any pattern. This one, if I couldn't make it go up and down, side to side would work for this blanket because it's non-directional. But that's just my OCD kicking in again, that I like it to go that one way. So it is what it is. It's about to get messy. So you're gonna hear the vacuum going on again. Or not again, but you're gonna hear it going. I'm holding it because it's gonna fall. And make a giant mess.
Not for me.
No, not this one, but I'll make you one. I'm gonna go shake this outside because it's easier to do that than vacuum it, so give me one sec. So that's a trick. If you have a backyard like close to you and you don't want to vacuum it, just take it outside and shake it. And it all comes right off. is also a lifesaver. So whenever I do a name on my blanket, I always put my tag or my opening on the opposite side so that my tag isn't right by the name. Hopefully you guys can hear me because it's really loud. I do double pins, that way I know where my opening is. I start here and I go all the way around and I come back and stop. be a tiny bit off right here, like half an inch, but I mean, you're not even gonna be able to tell. It gets quiet when those things turn off. So yesterday I embroidered all of them. Today I am cutting and pinning all of them. So I try to like separate it a little bit because it is a lot of work, but just do it however works for you, whatever's the most comfortable and convenient way. I don't like to get bored of one thing, so I just move around. If I'm getting bored of doing blanket, 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 because I have so many blankets to do all the time, I just do little pieces at a time. Like, that's why I break it up the way I do. So it just is so repetitive. So try to keep yourself occupied with other things if you get bored. That's why I do so many different things in my shop, because I like to change it up. I'm just on the side over here. The camera's not picking that angle up. Is that fan loud to you guys? Can you hear it? I know. Every time my niece is in here, she says, "Is that for me?" Okay. I'm set over here. So you guys, I want to show you something. It's so pretty and I'm in love with it. I don't quilt. I don't know if I ever will. I would love to. I just don't know if I ever can. But this is like a faux quilt and I am in love with it. Like, it is so cute. Look how cute this is. So basically this will be like one of my blankets. Look how pretty that is, you guys. So pretty. So I haven't cut into it yet, but I want to. I just haven't yet. So that's another thing. So on Spoonflower, I saw this faux quilt. It wasn't exactly like this. So all you have to do if you want something specific, usually the makers will work with you. I messaged her on a personal message and just said, "Hey, I really like this faux quilt. Is there any way that you can size it so that, because in the middle it says, I think just like wild something, I can't remember what it says, run wild, but it was like in the corner. But I wanted it to be like in the middle with all the design around it. So I asked her if she could change the sizing of it or the quilt squares to where it did that. And then I told her the measurements of my blankets and she made it fit like perfectly in that blanket measurement. So all you have to do is reach out to them and tell them what you're wanting to do and they can change it for you. She also added the border for me that wasn't on her original drawing and it's literally perfect. So I'm super, super happy with it. I haven't yet cut into it, but I can't wait to. And I think it's gonna be a hit. So I'll let you guys know or show you when I do it. But don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out for anything. For your Etsy shop, don't be afraid to reach out to your customers who leave you reviews and pictures. Ask them for permission to use their photos for your listings. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. Seriously, what's the worst they can do is say no and then you move on. But I've never had anyone say no, so just ask. All you have to do is ask. Hold on, guys. I gotta go check on her really quick. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that, guys. What's wrong? Come here. You have to shoes on. Sorry. She loves to hang out with me, but I can't be on a live with her. So she's sad that I had to put her inside. And I didn't put her inside by herself. My babysitter just got here, so She's back inside with the babysitter. My kids are home now, so my daughter's there to help, but she always gets sad because she just wants to hang out with me. But I hung out with her all morning and took her to the aquarium, like I said. We had Auntie niece day for quite some time this morning, so yeah, it just breaks my heart when they get sad like that. But I have to work too, so back to what we were doing. Okay, next we have this beautiful blanket, or Lovy. And I usually keep down here in one of my cubbies all of my scraps that I use for my Lovys. So this is where they go, and I just pull from there. So this isn't going to fit, I don't think. Maybe it will. It'll barely fit. I know, she wants to learn. Okay. Bye, Sarah. I'll talk to you later. Let's see. Whew. I got hot doing all that. She had to go to the bathroom. And then they all got home. She threw a little tantrum. Quite the excitement here, you guys. Hold on. This actually comes with a couple different backings, so pay attention if you have different. I'm all flustered right now, sorry guys. So I offer different color backing for each blanket. They get to pretty much choose through a drop down. Unless they just don't say anything, then I usually give them what is on the profile picture. But for this one, they chose almost like a marbled color background. So before I do that, I should check so I don't mess up. So this one is actually going to go with my other one because the black goes with the cactus. So let's see if the other one's in here. I don't know. Let's see, I don't think I have any in here. No, so we're gonna have to cut a new one. But I do have a gray. So we're just gonna pull what we have. I have a gray one. She's coming out again. I feel so bad. Oh man. Do those kiddos pull on your heartstrings? Because I can't handle it. I mean, my kids are so used to it that they don't do that, but she's attached. She loves her auntie. I guess I should feel really special about that. The hair flies around everywhere. The fur flies around and it gets in my face. And then it's like itchy. That's why I use my vacuum for everything. I'm gonna check on my shirts really quick and see how they're doing. I feel like I need to cut some applique out. So here's this one, it goes with this. So we're gonna go like that. Put it over here. Oh, I got fur all over me. Nothing else in here that I need. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what this is looking like. So this machine, you can actually like pull this forward and see it, what it's looking like so far. And then I'm just going to put this on here. And then you can just hit the play button and it'll go back. And then the other machine is waiting to do the exact same thing because I started them pretty much at the same time. So it's going to do the same step. And so what I've done is created a custom listing on my Etsy page for custom listings. So if they have like a specific theme or something that they want to do, then they just message me through that listing. I'm going to go put this on the other machine while I cut out. Stuff with like hands and fingers are always harder to cut out because there's such little areas. And I never want to cut off the thread or the tack down stitch. I think that's what it's called. You guys, I'm so bad with like terminology. So whenever I miss a piece, I just go up under the shirt and lift it out. That's what it looks like so far. Put this back on. Use my other scissors. These ones, I don't know. I like these ones better. You guys, I have so many videos filmed that I haven't been able to edit for you guys. I have like tutorials and oh, I have so much for you guys. It's just the editing part is so time consuming. Who's with me? Takes forever. I'm reading your guys' comments. You guys are too funny. You guys are funny. Okay. So now it's blue time. I'm going to put you guys this way so you can see like kind of what I'm doing. Like this. Oh, you guys can like see where I'm going. But not my face. I know, I love these scissors. I like how sharp they are and how pointy they are, but I love how short and like how small these are because I have really little hands. And so these I can like get up in there, but these are so much sharper and like smoother. So I wish that they sold these ones in a shorter version, but these are my favorite. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll look at the computer in a second after I put this on the machine. And thank you to all of you who are here with me today, even through all of the nonsense that has happened. You guys are always here to support. I love you all so much. And even though I've been absent for quite some time, okay, next. Okay, this is the last cut, and then it's gonna stitch out the rest of it all on its own. So that's when I'll show you what I do on this machine over here behind me in a second. Give me 1 minute. So right now it's on automatic stops after each step. But the nice thing about this machine is I'll show you. So now it's ready to stitch out. It's already done everything. So then I just go back into where my colors are, right here. See how it's on AM? I'm going to do it. Excuse me. Until it's on AA. Hit OK. Oh my gosh, I choked on something. And then it should just automatically stitch the rest out. And then that's when you can go work and do everything else that you needed to do while it's running. And then the other machine just has basically the stops that you put in. So now there's no more stops after I cut this. And it'll just stitch automatically after that. So they're both different. They're both good in their own different ways. But yeah. I love different things about each one of them. About all my machines, in fact. I don't like any fabric poking out of the stem stitch, so I try to get it as close as I can. That's another reason why I really like these scissors, is because it doesn't, you can get as close to it as you need to. I love that about them. gonna go grab some fabric in the back so that I can cut these out. So I need gray and 2 blacks and then a muted color. I'm going to do this one first because it's the messiest. Yeah, Sandy, get the other ones. They're really, really nice. They're on Amazon. So I like this braid because it's a sun blanket and they look like little sun, like they're swirly. So I try to always pick a design that kind of, the texture looks the same-ish. This is so messy, this one. That's why I'm like trying to get as much as I can. I'm going to cut it with the razor so I don't make so much of a mess. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to go this way. But make sure you pay attention to the way it's going. So this is going up and down this way, not this way. So I want my directional fabric to be going up and down. Basically the way that it is laying on your bolt is the way that you want it to be cut. So both of these are going to be getting black. Not that one. These two. With that. So basically, let's see, I'm just going to come separately. So we don't want to mess it up. Don't be scared to do this. I was scared at first too, but I promise you, it's not that hard. You just have to be careful so that you don't like tear into the fabric part that you need. So I stop wherever I know there's a corner. Really good. See what I'm doing? I'm doing opposite. That way I don't have like this weird jumbled thing going on. I even do it upside down so that this corner gets right here. I just need to do a straight across line, straight across line. And that makes a much less mess than the other way. Sometimes I have to cut it though, you just don't have a choice. But I would much rather not cut it, because it just is so much easier. been so pretty. I'm not piercing through it, so I don't have to worry about the underneath. I'm just barely going through it and then piercing the edge. Sometimes you can even just sometimes it's harder on these corners. This happened. It's out. It's out. You see? Empty. Is it just me or did the screen go weird? Is it all weird, you guys? Is it still bad? Hi Mina, how are you? Okay, let me know if it does that again. How this one is doing over here. It's almost finished. It's doing the spider, which is the last step. You can see it on the machine right here where it's going. And then this one over here is different. It has the red outline, but it's almost finished too. And on you can see the little thing moving where it's going. It highlights it. They should be linked in the description below. Actually, no, the purple one, those are not under my description. But I got mine on Amazon, so I don't know what they are, what they're called. They're called cables? I don't know. But they're on Amazon. Okay, so this shirt is finished. I gotta cut some little bit of strings off, but other than that, this is the size that it is and where it's placed at. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I like it like an inch under the collar. Here, it's like an inch. And that's on a big shirt. So, and honestly, I do all of them the same size, whether it's a size 2T or 6. So that's the same size as that one. I just don't change it because I just don't. So my thing is, if it fits in an 8x8, or I'm sorry, an 8x9 mighty hoop, then I'm going to use that same size. That's just my thought. How do you guys do it? Do you guys change the sizes for every size of the shirt? I do not. My internet being poor connection again, I can tell it's kind of blurry. Angela, I usually do like I believe 5x7 design in my 8x9 mighty hoop, and then my numbers that I use are the 5-inch, I believe. The 5-inch numbers, 5x7 design, and I usually adjust it up and down to however I like it. And then the names, I always do like 1.5 inches. So again, I'm going opposite side of the name. You don't have to do that, that's just what I do. Then I go middle, middle, middle. Why is it like that? Looks really blurry to me on my end. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see if I can switch the internet real quick. Hold on. I feel like when I turn it the other way, it does that. Is that better? I feel like when I turn it back around this way, it's not as good. I have an idea. What if I go like this? Is this way? Is that better? Or I guess it doesn't really matter. I think that's a little better. I don't know. Sorry, my internet is very bad here because we live in the middle of nowhere. Ask Sandra. We live far in the middle of nowhere. So, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a mystery to me. It's muggy here for whoever asked about the weather. We've been getting a lot of rain, which is good, but I just can't wait for it to cool down because I hate working in the heat. It literally takes everything out of me. Don't poke yourself because that hurts. On my Lovys, I tend to pin opposites first. That way it doesn't move on me. That's how I've always done it. It works. I feel like sometimes it shifts if I don't do it that way, so I learned to just pin the corners first and then go around. Just little tricks you teach yourself when you sew every day of your life. What's your favorite thing to sew? I still don't know what mine is. My sister kept getting so frustrated with pinning these because the fabric underneath is so like texturized and bumpy. It kept like bubbling up on her, and so she didn't like pinning them. So you just have to, once you figure out how to do it, it's easy. It's a learning curve for sure. Probably gonna have to jump off here soon because my sister's gonna be here to pick up my niece. But I will go back live tonight to finish all these. So right now I'm just gonna finish pinning them, and then I'll probably jump off and then come back on tonight after the kids go to bed to have a night live with all my night elves. So if you guys want a live tonight, I promise it won't be as chaotic and hectic because everybody will be asleep. So it'll just be me out here. So that's the plan. It's just kind of crazy during the day. So I'm going to show you the size of this shirt now that it's done. So here it is, just straight off. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I'll take the thing off. So now this is a size 2, I think. Yeah, size 2. So, same size as a size 6. I use the same frame, or the same hoop, 8x9 Mighty Hoop. So, it looks good on both shirts, the size of it. So, it's the same exact size. The other shirt's just longer because it's a size 6. So, yeah. So, I think the placement and everything, every time is exactly the same. It's usually about a little over an inch underneath the neckline, and I just think that looks really good, the way it is like that. Everything, or everyone has their own like personal opinion on where to place it, and that's fine. Everyone has their own way of doing everything. That's why we are creators. Okay. It is hot in here. I also like to work at night because it's cooler in here. But I did have my estimate yesterday for my AC. We are putting AC in here, so next summer I will not have to deal with this crazy heat. We're going to be putting a wall up over here. See where the refrigerator is? On the other side there's going to be a wall now with a door, so it'll be my actual shop. It'll separate my shop from the garage. And we're going to put AC in. We're going to block off all the vents in here so that it'll be a brand new, like, nice clean place. I won't have to worry about the, I mean, I'll still have to clean, but I won't have to worry about all the outside dust and everything like that. I clean literally every day. That's the first thing I do in the morning. I actually filmed a video the other day of like a day in my life sort of thing. Like, this is what I do from the beginning when I wake up till I start work and whatnot, because everyone wanted to know what my day was like. It's crazy. So, hopefully I can get that video out sooner than later, but I'm working on it. I'm working on like 3 right now. But yeah, it's kind of crazy getting all the kids off to school now, and just, I come out here and first thing, I don't even think about anything before I clean. All you guys ask how I keep it clean in here, because I do work in my garage. Well, that's one of the main things I do, is I have these things everywhere basically all day long. I'm dusting everything all day long. I have like air fresheners in here. Everything is in bins unless I am using them like repeatedly all day every day, which I do for like my blanket material. I have them on the bolts, but I'm constantly using them every day. So, and then same with my fabrics over here, constantly using them, so I don't put them in bins, but the stuff that I don't use on a day-to-day basis, I have packed away in bins. So everything that you see out, like all this fabric I just got in, so I need to prep it and put it away. And when I say prep it, I need to either put it on bolts, or if I already have a whole ream of that on a bolt, then I'll put the extra in backstock, which is probably either in a dresser or in a bin somewhere. So I just try to keep it as clean as I can. It's hard, but I try. And if I can't get to them right away, then I leave them in the bag that it comes in. So I like how they wrap them. That way if I don't have time to go through them, I just leave them in the bag until I do have time. So if you guys want to join me on live tonight again, I will be back out probably 8:15ish. And I'm basically just going to sew these blankets up, package, because I need to package all of them and get them out tomorrow. So if you want to come live with me, I'll just be working. Finishing up what I didn't get done today, because I wasn't that productive today because I didn't start working until I went live with you guys earlier. So, and then all the chaotic stuff happened, so that just puts you back a little bit. But it's called life, right? You gotta love it. But I gotta get all these out because I am going to my dad's this weekend because he's leaving to go back up to his cabin. So we're gonna go over to his house and stay with him for the weekend. So I need to get all my orders out. Okay. So all those are done. I got those 2 shirts done too, so that's good. Do you guys have any questions for me before I hop off? And then I'll be back on tonight for another live. So ask me away. Any questions you have? If you guys don't have any questions, then I will see you back tonight. Whoever wants to be here, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I know it's crazy. That's my life. So welcome to my daily life. No, I'm just kidding. I will talk to you guys later tonight. I will probably be back on 8:15, 8:30 my time. So I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much. Bye.